You know, owning a puppy, and they're all cute, brings with it some special concerns and considerations, not the least of which is ensuring your dog is well-behaved and a good citizen. Now, no matter how cute or cuddly your new puppy is, it's your responsibility as a dog owner to make sure your pup is trained. Tristan Flynn is here. He's a professional dog trainer and co-owner of Jollytails Doggy Daycare and Training Facility in Halifax. He's brought his Burmese mountain dog, Freya, and this is Aggie. This is my family's new 10-week-old black lab. She's a handful, great sister to her 2-year-old yellow lab, Lola. And now we're going to find out more about the training programs and things like that. Tristan, first of all, she's 10 weeks old on Saturday. When do you start training a puppy?
Right away. You know, you really don't want to wait. You want to build good habits immediately. Yeah. Now, a lot of people are concerned about vaccinations, so there's lots that you can do without going to places like the dog park. A good puppy class is the first thing you want to do. Find a place where your dog can socialize safely and where you can learn good behaviors. So start training right away. Every interaction with your dog is training for that dog.
Well, that's great stuff. Now, start it right away. Now, what are the first things that I should be doing with a puppy, other than house training and things like that, which is always kind of a bit of a battle. I know it is for us.
One of the things that's really important with a new puppy is socialization, so exposing them to as many things as you can and making it a good experience for the dog. So you want to bring some rewards with you. One of the things I tell my classes is don't put your kibble in a bowl. Bring it with you in a pouch. Reward your dog whenever they're doing things that you like. So whenever you're interacting with your dog, if she sits nicely, give her a reward. If she's walking beside you on leash, give her a reward. Build those habits early on. And so use a lot of rewards in your training and socialize her. Try and find some businesses maybe you can take your new puppy to so she experiences lots of things when she's young.
What's the biggest problem with untrained dogs, untrained puppies?
Well, you get a dog who's jumpy, you get a dog who pulls on leash, who's out of control, and that's really frustrating for a lot of owners. And unfortunately, that's usually one of the biggest reasons why dogs get surrendered to shelters is their behavior is out of control. So if you train your dog early on, you're going to have a much stronger bond and you'll have a much more likable dog. So really learn about positive training and how to get your dog to listen to you in a cooperative way. You know, the old style of training used to be a lot of force-based. People wanted to deliver leash corrections if their dog wasn't behaving, but we've learned a lot about animals in that time, and we know that using rewards is much better.
So obviously treats are okay. Clicker training, do you come to a point where you just say, you know, good dog, you just give it affection or a good pat instead of a treat?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest misconceptions in treat training is that you're going to have to carry treats for the rest of your life, or that your dog's only listening if you have food in your hand, but that's really not true. You want to build really strong habits, and once those habits are formed, you can start to reduce the rewards. So you use a lot of rewards early on so your dog learns what's right and what's wrong, and then once they have really good habits, then you get rid of them, right? So my dog I would normally reward because she's being so calm, but I don't really need to do that because I did that a lot. With a new puppy, I'm going to very quickly give her a treat because she's sitting there and being quiet while we're talking. So we want to make sure that she knows that that's the right behavior, not jumping and bothering us.
So what I'm thinking of is treats. You don't have to give a big treat, eh? Because I understand dogs don't understand volume. They understand that you're getting a treat.
Absolutely. What's better than volume is actually frequency. Okay. So really, really tiny treats like this and really quick delivery when the dog's doing the right thing, and then another really quick follow-up. And you can use your kibble. You don't necessarily need to load your dog full of treats.
Now, I understand that when my wife brought Aggie in, that you actually had her sitting already.
Right.
How do you do that?
So you just let her do the behavior naturally.
Is that the first thing you should teach them to do, down or sit?
Well, it's not so much that I even wanted to listen to the sit command, but what I want is impulse control. So I want her to choose to naturally wait for things. Yeah. So you notice that even though I'm rewarding her for sitting, I'm not saying the word sit. I'm not necessarily concerned with teaching that right now. What I want her to do is voluntarily give me that. I don't want to go through life always having to say sit, sit, sit. I want her to just do that as a default behavior. So whenever she wants something from anyone, I always want her to think that, oh, I should sit instead of jumping or barking or doing any of those behaviors you don't like.
I got to tell you, this is hilarious because Aggie looks like such a well-behaved dog. What you don't realize is that she's a whirling dervish at home, a lot of energy, and then she falls asleep. She's great. Yes, sweetie. Okay, so what are the most important things, what are the most important commands to teach a dog, a new puppy, an old dog, whatever it is, before you consider going to a professional trainer? What kind of things should you have around the house? Obviously, sit.
Recall is very important, so you want a dog who comes when called. So one of the things with recall is you want to make sure that it's always a good thing for the dog. So you never want to punish a dog. Some people might call their dog a few times, and the dog is slow, so when the dog finally gets up there, they yell at the dog because it was too slow, or they had to call it a bunch of times. But if you do that, the dog's not going to want to come the next time. So you want to make it really, really positive for them. So you can go around your house and just tell your dog to come and then reward her, right? So recall, very important, and walking on leash, very important. Nobody wants a dog who's going to pull, and you've got a lab, and unfortunately labs really like to pull on leash.
Oh yeah, and they're very strong dogs.
Right.
Very strong dogs.
So loose leash walking is one of the easiest things in the world. All you want to do is whenever your dog is near you, give her a reward. If she happens to pull in front of you, simply stop, ask her to come back, and as soon as she gives you slack on that leash, you can start walking again. There's no reason to deliver corrections, but the biggest thing if you're a new puppy owner is don't take a step forward if your dog is pulling. If you take a step forward when they're pulling, they're going to think that that's an acceptable thing to do, and they're just going to pull you. So always stop and ask your dog to come back, and use lots of rewards when they're with you. You know, you can take her for a walk around the neighborhood, and you can bring her whole supper with you in a pouch and give her a piece of kibble every time she's beside you, and what you'll find is after about a week, she'll walk right by you.
All right, Tristan, thank you very much. For more information on Tristan's Jollytails, just go to their website. That's jollytails.ca. Consider going to a professional, but in the meantime, work on your puppy right now to make him a great citizen. Aren't you a good girl, Aggie? Aren't you a good girl? Freya, you're so patient. Thank you very much.